On Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live.
In Scottsdale, Arizona, at Scottsdale Stadium, that is where the San Francisco Giants see many of their players.
Today on Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live.
This was the direction that Vic decided ultimately he wanted to go to remain in Philadelphia.
This is Jason Bourne. I was wondering when you were going to make this call.
Cleveland Indians and Michael Bourne have come to terms on a 4-year deal.
And it's been all Kansas when these two get together, although not lately for the Jayhawks against anybody. They haven't lost 4 straight games since the 88-89 season.
Mavs can't get off a last shot. Atlanta wins 105-101.
Frank Gifford and Kim Kraft back to Wrestling Judo Hall. And Dan Gable, our brightest hope for a gold medal at 149.5 pounds.
On 99.3 Talk FM.
You got a wicked shimmy up here.
It's Bryan Houston's Sports Radio Live.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Here's Bryan Houston.
Hey, good afternoon. Glad to have you back here for the 4 o'clock hour. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks for being part of the show. We appreciate you choosing us. We know you got a lot of options, and we do appreciate it. We are very glad to go to the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. The results show when the athletes hit the field. We've got on the line with us right now the brand-new head football coach of the White House Wildcats, Adam Cook. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well, Brian. How are you doing,
Doing
sir?
very well, thank you. Congratulations. How's it feel?
It feels good. Let me first off thank you for what a great job you've done here of covering White House High School and specifically our football team. Again, I feel like you're a part of the family, and I want you to know you did a great job, and we appreciate the job that you've done of promoting our students, athletes throughout this last football season.
Well, Coach, you keep having 10-2 seasons like last year. It'll be my pleasure completely. I promise you that.
Yes, sir.
It was great fun watching you guys this past season. I got to ask you, did people treat you differently today?
No, not really. You know, at the end of the day, it's funny. Today, Coach Surratt over at Carthage called me. Coach Surratt and I go back a long way. Coach Surratt was actually my junior high coach.
Really?
And, yeah, I loved him. He was my 7th grade coach, and he called me. And at the end of the day, I said, Coach, I'm still Adam Cook from Redwater, Texas. And anyway, but no, they really haven't. You know, I've got my wife who's able to keep me in check and remind me that I'm really nobody at the end of the day, you know. But I will say we have truly been blessed. You know, White House is a great place. You mentioned earlier the 10-2 season, the excitement. There's just something special about White House and this community, and we're truly blessed to be a part of this.
When you were going through the process last night and the meeting went on and on and on, what was going through your mind?
There were actually a lot of things going through my mind. You know, there were several times of just kind of sitting and waiting. The board had many things to discuss on the agenda, you know, and I first off would like to thank each and one of those men for what they do. You know, a lot of times the school board members, they catch a lot of grief, but, man, they serve our community in such a way, and they're the voice for the community. They were covering a lot of different things, and there was a time for about 2.5 hours where Julie and I were just kind of waiting for them to get to us on the agenda. During that time, we were just kind of Julie and I talking about where we had come from. We reflected on the 7 years that we've been here at White House, and that was kind of that at that point. Then I went in for executive session and was quizzed over some different things, you know, with my vision and stuff for the program and things, which ultimately, I mean, that needed to be done. I mean, the school board had questions, and they needed some answers to it. So that was a great time. But then after that, there was probably about another hour and a half wait. I really didn't know what time it was. Brian, my watch stopped working, so I didn't have my watch on, and my wife took my phone from me. So I really don't know. It seemed long. I think it might have been about an hour and a half. And at that point, I thought, man, did I answer all the questions right? Maybe I didn't say this right. You know, as it took time. But Mr. Dupree at one point, the superintendent came in and he said, you know, they're not only just talking about your contract. He said there's other contracts in there that they're talking about at this time as well.
Sure. And, now, do you have children?
I do have children. I actually have my wife and I. We have 3 children.
Okay.
We have a 9-year-old Sam. He goes to Stanton Smith Elementary here. Our 5-year-old goes to preschool here at White House First Baptist, and then we actually have educational guardianship of a 16-year-old
that
my wife had. Yes, she's been with us now for a year and a half, Sierra. and she's been a true blessing to our family, a great addition, and we've got kids here in White House, and again, it's a great community.
Well, the reason I asked is because I'm just expecting that probably the babysitting bill probably got rather large last night, and maybe you can write that off or expense it to White House ISD. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, actually, family comes in good on that one. My Sierra actually had softball practice. They had softball game. They actually went over to Henderson for a game last night that they were going to schedule today in the rain, so they went ahead and moved that up early. And then my oldest one, Sam, was with my brother, Brad, and then my youngest one was actually with my mom, and they both ended up staying the night at both of those places. So, yeah, the family came through then, and so I don't have to worry about a bill or anything like that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now,
yes,
you mentioned the philosophy, and one of the things, and I'm going to ask some, I guess, awkward questions here, so forgive me for that, but last year, you guys, about this time, learned that Coach McFarland's contract was not going to be renewed, and that affects all of you. So first of all, what's this past year been like coaching in a situation where you knew the head coach was going to be gone, and that means that it could be the entire staff being gone at some point, and having to get a football team ready, and a team that was a really good football team too, knowing that all this was going to be so uncertain all year long? What was that like?
It was, to be honest with you, I feel as though a lot of my philosophy, a lot of my beliefs have really been tested throughout this season. First and foremost with me as our coach is the kids, the relationships with the kids, making sure that the kids are taken care of. And I really think that this last year that was really tested because, it was. That's what the focus had to be. And as far as, my stance was on the year, I just felt like, hey, as long as we continue to do things right, good things are going to happen. I had originally at one point, when we first found out, Coach McFarland told me, he said, hey, you need to go over there and let those guys know over there that you want this position. And I did that. And then at that point, he decided, hey, he was going to go at it again and see if he could get it. So when I had already gone over there and told them that, my view to them was, hey, I feel like this is going to be a long interview process. Where you guys can watch me and see what I'm doing. I mean, you're going to have firsthand to see what it is that you're getting, and that's really how I viewed the whole season. And but the thing that helped me throughout the process was just really keeping the focus on the kids. Again, my philosophies were tested, and then, in the end, I know that's what it's about. We as a staff oftentimes, the things that I would say is, like, guys, that we just prove to them, hey, that we can do this, we're going to have a shot at being able to come back next year and work with the kids. And I don't know, for me personally, when you know that this is it, it's like that athlete that knows, all right, man, this is my last shot here. And then I think that's what you saw a lot through this year. Just you're going to give it everything you got, and that's what we did. And that's what we owe to the kids. It's not like we did anything that we shouldn't have done, if that makes sense.
Sure, no.
That's what we're supposed to do. That's our job.
Absolutely. I get that. One of the things that was said last year was that they decided they wanted to not renew Coach McFarland's contract because they wanted to go in a different direction. But when it's all said and done, it looks like with you being hired here, and I assume that means that a lot of the staff is going to remain in White House. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yes, sir. There will be a lot, but I also think that this is a great opportunity for us to get some new staff in here with some new ideas and things. But for the most part, we will, and again, without going into those, because I don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Through this process, one of the things that we've talked to these young men about is just moving forward. You talked about direction earlier, mm-hmm. and we knew that was it. We were going in a new direction, and we just took on the attitude, hey, we're just going to move forward. And, as you move forward, the only thing you can do is take that next step. So looking into that, as you talk about staffing, all I can do is take that next step and really look and evaluate where we're at. It's going to be my job to maximize the coaching staff here and put people in place where we need it and see who we can get in here, new guys. And, right now I don't know what that looks like. There's some, I'm going to need to start evaluating all the coaches and meeting with them individually, seeing kind of where they're at and what they think. So there will be some new faces around here at White House, and I think that'll be good. We just like any other staff, we have coaches who are already deciding to get out, through retirement and just other opportunities that they're having. So there will be some new faces around here, and I think that'll be good. Kind of get us some excitement, because each new coach you get in, he brings his own little thing that he's had at the program he's been at, and just a new excitement, new ideas. And I think that's always good on the staff.
Okay, Adam Cook, the new White House football coach on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM. So, Coach Cook, what are the White House Wildcats going to look like as Adam Cook's team, as opposed to what it looked like when Randy McFarland was the head football coach?
One of the things we focused on with these kids, as we've talked about moving forward, and this whole idea has been that as you move forward, sometimes it gets hard when you look into the future, but it's easy when you look back at where you've been. That's kind of what we've talked to the kids as they're making that next step. I'm saying that because it's important that we understand that, man, we've done some great things here. So when you ask what's going to be different, there's a lot of things that we're going to do that are going to be very similar to what we did. The idea is just to build off of what it is that we've done. I do look forward to being able to kind of have more impact on both the defense and the special teams and stuff. And I don't. It's hard to say right now what those differences are going to be before we have definitely know what our staff's going to be, if that makes sense.
Sure. No. Yeah. Absolutely.
But I look forward to the opportunity to just build off of what we've done. There are definitely going to be some things different, Brian. But what those are right now, time will tell. As we move forward, I think that's it. We don't know exactly what that's going to be right now.
As far as the offense is concerned, you've got so many skilled people back, led by Patrick Mahomes and a cast of receivers that any high school in the state would love to have. Will you change much offensively? Do you expect to do pretty much what you've been doing for the last 7 years?
That's the thing. I think as a good coach, you're constantly looking for ways to do things different. I know that that's one of my goals is to grow. So as you talked about moving forward and doing things and the changes that you'll see, I think I first have to start with myself. And there are ways that I see where we can get better, where we can help Patrick, help him get out of some plays. We do run the hurry-up offense. You're going to continue to see that. That's what we're going to do. That's been a staple since I've taken over. And but there's ways I think that I can help him out in areas. But you're still going to see, again, I've been very blessed. And this whole opportunity that I've been given has been without a doubt because of the great players that I've been blessed to coach. We've had some great players here, and that's why we've had the success. Dylan Cantrell, Trey McTwire, Hunter Taylor here the year before that, and we've had some great players. And I think that one of the things that you've seen from our offense has been the consistency there. It is a system that we have. But there are wrinkles in it, and there will be some new wrinkles this next year. But ultimately, we're going to try to get it to our athletes, and that's what we do. And when that ball snapped, when Austin Dickerson snaps that ball next year back to Patrick Mahomes, we're getting it to an athlete, and we're going to try to do the best we can to help him succeed. And there are ways there are things systematically that we're looking at to help him out in the future.
When a coach as successful as Coach McFarland is told that it's time for him to go, and you come in now having been part of that program, now as the head coach, do you feel added pressure to perform, to win big? Because you've seen a successful coach basically being invited to leave. So do you feel additional pressure now because of that?
I don't know that I would feel any additional pressure of taking any other job. As far as that goes, I think that, one of the things that we've talked to the kids about, and something I've talked about quarterbacks a whole lot, is that with tradition comes responsibility. And that's one of the things White House has begun here is a tradition and of winning and people being excited about football. And with that comes a big responsibility. And now the responsibility of continuing that and building up on that now falls on my shoulders. And I think that every head coach, feels that. And is it maybe a little more stepping into it behind Coach McFarland? I mean, yeah, I'm sure that it is. But, it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of new to this. So some of those things, I'm really not even going to think about. I'm just going to go out there and try to, I'm so young that sometimes, you don't think about that. And I think that can be a good thing, too, because at the end of the day, it's just a game. And we're going to prepare these kids, and we're going to continue to do it the same way that we've done in the past. There will be some new things. But I'm excited about it as I look forward to it. It is some pressure, but, as a former athlete, I mean, that's what we thrive on.
Sure. Now, will you call Rickland Holmes, because he was in a situation last year where he got his first head coaching job and inherited, one of the best teams in the state and was expected, basically to win state championship or bust. And you're going to be, expected because of the team you're going to have coming back. People are going to be watching you, and I'm just curious if you're going to call Holmes and find out what he had to do to try to maintain and keep things going, because you guys are in a very similar situation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're exactly right. He stepped in there, I think, and did an excellent job with the guys there that he had. I don't know that I need to call him. I think I need to go by there and maybe see exactly what he's got. Yes, I can see what they're doing, so we can do that because, he's done an excellent job over there. And I do think that he is in a similar situation, and I'm sure when he and I cross paths that we'll probably talk a little bit about it, but he's done a great job there with those guys.
Have you talked to Coach McFarland?
I have not talked to Coach McFarland today. I've been so busy with,
Sure.
Interviews and stuff, and like I said, old coaches calling and stuff today, and my head's kind of. Here's the deal. Last night I got home, and Sierra said it was about after midnight before Julie and I got home, and I was up here at 4:50 opening up the weight room, and getting things rolling up here. Yeah, so I'm still kind of, and we've got a basketball game tonight here. That the basketball team, Patrick and those guys you talking about, Ryan Cheatham, Jalen Booz, Justin Dunning, and Jake Park will be playing, and those guys have been, they're great athletes, and great competitors, so I look forward to going in there and watching them do that, but I have not seen Coach McFarland. I think he was here earlier this morning, but I haven't spoken to him today.
Just wondering about that, and you mentioned Coach Surratt. Who are some of your other mentors, people that you'll kind of lean on for advice as you go on here?
Coach Surratt, he's a big one. I talked to him today about wanting to come by and kind of talk to him and pick his brain about some of the things he does there at Carthage because he's been so successful. And some other ones are Coach Castles. I coached with Coach Castles over at Chapel Hill before I came here. He and I have a lot of the same philosophies and a lot of the same goals with our staff and what it is that we want to do, and he's a guy that I will. David Hoff, the assistant head coach at Rockwall Heath, was someone that I worked for whenever I was at Redwater. He was actually the first guy that gave me a coordinator position, and he's someone that I'm constantly leaning on. And there's other guys. That's the thing. Today Coach Sinton over at Chapel Hill, we play these guys, and again, that's what I love about this game is at the end of the day, it's two communities coming together and competing. And we talk to each other, and of course, he's over here telling me take it easy on him, but hey, man, I know that's not it. They're over there gonna try to wear us out this next year. But he's done a great job over there, and that's really the coaching community. It's really a brotherhood. I know we get out there and we fight with each other, but excuse me, but it is a brotherhood. It's a great fraternity to be a part of.
Well, we are very, very excited for you. Congratulations on getting the head coaching job, Coach, and we wish you the very best of luck, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys playing again this fall. I know you got a lot of stuff to do between now and then to get ready for the season, but we know that you'll have a great time doing it.
Yes, and again, Brian, I want to thank you for the great job you did of covering our athletes, and look forward to you doing that. And, that's what it's all about here at the end of the day, and you've done an excellent job of promoting our athletes here, and we appreciate that.
Well, it's been my pleasure, and I look forward to working with you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Good. Again, congratulations. White House head football coach Adam Cook got that job late last night. Congratulations to him. 35 years old, first head coaching job, and I know he's excited. His family's excited, and the community's excited right now. So sometimes it's a fun time to be involved in that kind of thing. So, all right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM, the sports talk of East Texas.